S660 with a 30-foot draper. Going really nice. Got Kevy in there running it this year. Alright, we got Wheat Harvest 2021 going on here. Make a nice big fluffy windrow for some straw. Pretty clean wheat. Back of the S660 there. Yep, it's summertime. Alright, third crop is ready to harvest, so we're going to hop in the Kloss 970 and do a little maintenance on it. We got to drop the stone where the knife sharpened, so you pull the head off, open up the front, and drop that stone down a little bit, so we can get the knives all good and sharp. So this will be the first time I've done that on this new chopper, so it's going to be a little bit different than what I'm used to, but I think I can get it figured out and get it all tuned up, ready to roll. The head's unhooked, so we'll hop in the chopper, head on up to the shop, and drop that stone. Alright, as you can see, I have the front of the chopper all opened up where the knives are and the shear bar is. So what I'm doing, like I said, I'm setting the stone down. So it's a little tight in here versus the old one. We have this extra flap here that keeps the dust from blowing back in here, which is nice, but it's kind of in a way for this. But if I can get in here or not, as you can see. But this here is a little stone that goes onto these knives and goes back and forth on this rail, and that's what sharpens the knives. So every time that stone goes past these knives right here, whenever it gets back to the end, it ratchets, and then it sticks on a little tooth. And every time it ratchets, it drops that stone down just a little bit more, so it just keeps on going back and forth and sharpening. So I need to drop that stone down, re-tighten it, and then we'll be ready to go on that end. So looking at the knives, a little rusty right now because I haven't run it for a while, but they are actually in really good shape. There's no dings or nothing. You can see right, I don't know if you can tell really, but there's a couple dings on these knives on this one, but the one above it's pretty good shape. So we'll get this dropped in, and we'll end up sharpening it. Probably, let's go about 30 to 50 passes and get these knives all good and sharp and ready to go. I want to get this pretty tight because all it is little rubber compression rings that just squeeze in this stone together, and that's what holds it on. So I want to make sure it's good and tight so it don't drop down and shatter everything. Okay, we're about ready to close this up. There's several different shields that we got to take off and put back on. Whenever you get a new piece of equipment, there's always change, no matter what. Some things are better, some things are not as good, and some things I appreciate more, and some things it's like, man, I wish I had the old style back. So changing this stone, or dropping it, where you want to call it, a little bit different. To tighten the threads, it's actually left-handed threads instead of right-handed, the way that everyone knows, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. It's actually opposite, so that's going to take a little bit while getting used to. But so I'm ready to button this thing back up. Then we're going to sharpen it some, and then we'll be done with this project for now. buttoned up in the front, and we're ready to start sharpening. So what we need to do next is we need to go into our sharpening section. We need to go to settings. So our I don't know if you can see this or not, but our settings, our conditions are 72% wore down, and so on and so forth. We sharpened 452 times last time. So number of sharpening cycles, shear bar clearance, intervals. We want to go to resetting. There we go. Resetting the sharpening cycle to 0. I think that's what I want. So let's hit that. We want to reset the sharpening cycle counter to 0. Yes. So let's get out of this page. Not sure where I'm at here. Alright, let's go back to knives. There we go. Alright. Sharpen, chopping knives. So number down here is 0. We want to go to 15 times. There we go. Alright, so we need to engage the drive. So far so good. If you can see the little thing running there, we are sharpening. So we're going to give it about 30 passes, and then we'll be ready to hit the field whenever the rain stops. Okay, got that job done. It was a very hot job. It's probably in the mid 80s and 90-some% humidity. Rained half the time I was working on it, so glad that job's done, and now we're ready to make hay. Alright, we finally got started chopping hay on the third crop this afternoon. The hay that we're chopping now currently, and what we have been so far, is hay that was chopped 4 or 5 days ago. Some of it has had 3 inches of rain to 4 inches of rain on top of it. I still think the quality is going to be okay, but after we get done with one more field, then we'll be into stuff that we mowed yesterday. So that stuff should be good. We're putting it in the bunker and blending it all in. Got a little ways to go, but we got rain coming, and hopefully we get a good run today yet. So alright, so there goes another load there. The stuff that got rained on has been down for several days. We're running somewhere around 50 to 55% moisture, and for us, for the bunker, that is just a little bit too dry. Ideally we would like anywhere from 65 to 70% moisture is where we would like to have it. But yeah, so this will be all right. If we were blowing it into a silo, this would be pretty much ideal. But yeah, so it's a little bit on the dry side. So whenever it's dry like this, it really gums up the spout, and it doesn't blow into the wagon as good. So we got one more field of this dry stuff, and then after that we'll get into some wet stuff. And once we get into wetter hay, it should just clean the spout right up. So that's what we're hoping for. Alright, so we got into the wetter haylage here, and I think it's about one load, and the whole spout just got cleaned out. So we're into some good feed. It's making a lot, and yeah, it's going pretty decent right now. So it just makes a big difference on the moisture of hay, of just how the machine and how everything works. If it's dry, it don't blow as good out of the chopper. It doesn't push as good on the pile, and it doesn't pack as good on the pile. So yeah, so we really stress on trying to get that 65 to 70% moisture, and yeah, that's when everything goes pretty good. That's when it really ferments good in the bunker, and things just go well whenever it's that moisture. So there goes probably load number 25 for the day. Starting to add up pretty good today. We got about 45 loads chopped today, and sitting here waiting on a load, sharpen the knives up, and set the shear bar. If you look behind me, you can see it's kind of getting a little dark. I hope the rain holds off for a little while yet, so we got a decent amount to go yet. We'll just see. Don't need all this rain right now.